What's up, everybody? I am Chef Joe. This is Chef Gone Carnivore, and today we are going to look at how to make pan-seared salmon with that really nice crispy skin, the way you get it in a restaurant. But we're going to look at how you can accomplish that in your kitchen at home. It's actually really simple. Now, if you're new to this channel, my name is Chef Joe. I started the carnivore diet a while back in hopes to lose 200 pounds. I've lost over 70 pounds so far. And this channel I've been using as a way to just document my progress, and then also to show what I'm eating and how I'm cooking it. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. You'll be able to know when all of these videos come out. You won't miss anything. And if you like this one, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It helps us out, and we appreciate it. But let's get back to the salmon. Now, salmon has got to be one of the most popular fish choices that we eat universally. It seems like even people who aren't huge fish fans sometimes like salmon. Now, I'm no different. I like salmon. It's high in fat, so there's plenty of flavor there. And it actually isn't super fishy as far as fish goes. But that high fat also makes it a pretty good option for keto or carnivore, since we want that higher fat content. The higher fat also makes it a little easier to cook, so that's a big plus. But the best way to eat that salmon as far as the fat content goes, and even flavor, is to consume and eat the skin. Now, the problem with fish skin, whether it's salmon or whether it's halibut or whether it's any type of fish, is flabby. Fish skin is absolutely not appetizing in any way, at least not to most people. However, if you can get that nice and crispy, so it has a little bit of a crunch and crispiness to it when you eat it, that totally changes the game on fish skin. And it's actually not as difficult as it sounds. It's pretty simple. So let me show you how. Now, most fish you buy from the grocery store will have already been descaled by the people who process it. So you probably won't need to scale the fish, but you'll just want to check. And if there are scales on the fish, you want to remove those before we start. Once your fish has been scaled, we want to go ahead and blot it dry with a paper towel. You want to dry all the surfaces of the fish. If your fish has previously been frozen, there may be a little bit more moisture to blot out, but either way, we just want the surfaces to be nice and dry before we start. Dry skin will crisp up a whole lot better than wet skin, so we want to remove any moisture that's on there. I also like to look for little pieces that I can trim off like this, just so that it keeps a nice uniform looking piece of fish to cook. Once we've done that, we are ready to go ahead and season it. I am going to be using kosher salt, and you'll just want to put as much on as you prefer. You want to season both sides, both the flesh and the skin, but keep in mind you want to wait as close to cooking as possible because the salt will draw moisture to the surface of the skin. We're going to go ahead and turn our burner on to high or medium high, and we're going to go ahead and put fat into our pan to cook it in. I am using bacon fat, but you could use any high smoke point fat that you have, whether it's clarified butter or ghee or lard or whatever it is that you have. I'm using bacon fat. You'll want to put enough fat into the bottom of the pan so that when it melts, it just lightly coats the entire bottom of the pan. Now, over high heat, it will take just a few minutes for the fat to get hot enough to place the fish in. It's important that you wait for the fat to get hot enough before you place the fish in, or else you have issues with the skin sticking to the bottom of the pan. So what you want to look for is just some really light smoke coming up from the bottom of the pan, and then you can place the salmon in. Now, you should hear loud sizzling like this when you place the fish in. If you don't hear that sizzle, the pan just wasn't hot enough. So you want to take this fish out and let that fat get a little bit hotter before you put it in. Now, I like to keep some nice contact between the skin and the pan, so I put some slight pressure with my spatula. You could also use your hand in order to maintain good surface contact between the skin and the pan. It's a very light pressure. You don't have to push down super hard, but this just allows more skin to be in contact with the pan and crisp up even better. We're going to cook the salmon skin side down about 80 to 90% of the way. We're only going to flip the salmon over after we've been able to crisp the skin up the way we want. Now, with a thin piece of fish like this one, this will only take a few minutes. This piece of salmon cooked for 3 minutes, skin side down, and then finished off for another minute when I flipped it flesh side down. Now, if you are cooking a much thicker piece of salmon, especially if it was like a farm-raised salmon, then you'll be looking more like 5 minutes or so skin side down. But when you flip the fish over, you just want to make sure the skin is crisp the way you like it. If it isn't quite as crisp as you like it, just pop it back skin side down and continue to cook it another minute or two until it is plenty crispy. Once you get the crispness you like, even with a thick piece of salmon, you go ahead and flip it over flesh side down and just finish it the rest of the way there. Now, the way you know your fish is done is you temp it. So you'll be looking for a fish internal temperature of around 130 to 135 degrees. That's where I like to eat my salmon. And you can also finish the fish in the oven flesh side down if you prefer, and then just pull it out of the 350 degree oven when it has reached that temperature. But either way, once the fish is cooked through, you can go ahead and remove from the pan, let it rest a minute or two, and then time to enjoy. Now, this skin turned out beautifully crisp. It is moist and tender on the inside. It's just how I like it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to catch all my videos as I post them. If you have issues or problems cooking this, or there's something I didn't address in the video, just leave me a comment and I will answer your question or give you a tip or let you know something that why what you're doing isn't quite working out the way you like it to. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.